All right, joined again by Morey Herhsgordon in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Morey, great job today. And it seems like Barrington finally got to take a deep breath and enjoy the sights and sounds of Williamsport after those 2 games in a row, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it was hectic, right? Thursday with the weather delay, and then Friday was a tough game against a tough Virginia team. They pitch and play good defense, but they don't get a hit. Then the first 2 innings of yesterday's win against Kentucky, they don't get a hit, so the monkey's still on their back. The bats finally break through. Owen Pfeffer spins a 2-hit gem, and they're off and rolling here in Williamsport, picking up their first win. It's the program's first appearance here at the Little League World Series, so that's a win that'll go down in the history books for Barrington Little League. Today, obviously an off day. They got to spend a lot of time with the Cubs and the Pirates, who were in town to play the MLB Little League Classic, so the Barrington Little Leaguers are having quite the experience here in Williamsport.
Obviously, you never want to go 0 for when you go to the Little League World Series. You're assured 3 games, including what would be a consolation game if you lose your first 2. So is there an air of relief after getting that big win yesterday and maybe more confidence going into their game Tuesday?
Confidence, no doubt. I'm not sure about relief. I think, this team knew they could compete at this level, and they clearly showed that yesterday. It was a dominant 6-1 win. So I think they're actually kind of kicking themselves, to be honest, today, looking back at Virginia, who moved on after they beat Barrington. They destroyed Minnesota 11-0 in 4 innings and didn't allow a hit. Barrington's kicking itself, saying, hey, if we could have just scratched 1 run across against Virginia in like the 3rd or 4th inning when it was still scoreless, that Virginia team, which is awfully good, would have really tightened up. And Barrington thinks it might have been able to pull that one out, and then they would have faced a Minnesota team that's similar to the team they faced in Kentucky. They could be sitting here at 2-0, but that's here nor there. Barrington is 1-1. They'll look to keep their season alive on Tuesday now at 3 o'clock.
All right, so they've had to do this before where they think they're playing one day and it's pushed back to the next day. So they've been through this before. How are they going to handle Monday in the long wait till Tuesday's 3 o'clock first pitch?
Yeah, so they'll get batting practice in. Each team is allowed 1 hour in the cages per day and then 1 hour in the field. So it's a typical 2-hour practice like most teams have at the Little League level. They'll also watch the conclusion of that Hawaii and New Jersey game. That game is currently suspended in the top of the 5th inning. Hawaii is leading 6-0, and that will resume on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So it looks like the Barrington team will play New Jersey, the team from Elizabethtown. The loser of that game will drop to the losers bracket and face Barrington. So I'm sure they'll want to scout that game, watch some video, take in the last couple innings. They watched most of that game this afternoon before it got suspended. So that's kind of how they'll spend the off day. And they like to keep it light. I mean, that's the biggest thing about these guys. They're family. They like to hang out together. They spend time in the Grove playing ping pong, playing cornhole, playing video games. So they like to keep it light. That's a big reason why they've gotten here to this stage. And I'm sure it'll be, just status quo for Barrington on Monday.
All right, now you have Anderson and you have Owen Pfeffer, who both pitched well. What are we going to see on the mound for the Barrington squad on Tuesday?
So all signs point to Miles Fontaine, head coach Chris Primatis, and his assistant coaches Frank Feedy and E.J. Anderson. They're not committing 100% to Fontaine, but it looks like he will be the starter. He's a right-handed pitcher. The last appearance he made was in the first game against New Hampshire in regionals, the one game that Barrington did lose in the New England Regional. He gave them 5 1/3 innings, really good, efficient, much like Anderson and Pfeffer. Doesn't overpower anybody, so he's a pitcher as opposed to a thrower. He can spot his 2-seam and his 4-seam, and he has the occasional off-speed to keep hitters off balance. Regardless of the team they play, though, Hawaii and New Jersey can hit the baseball. Both of those teams are really good. So again, it's going to have to start with pitching and defense if Barrington's going to want to win.
These 12-year-olds must love that you're analyzing their 2-seam and 4-seam. That's unbelievable. All right, are you going to ride down one of those cardboard boxes down the hill before you go? When is that happening?
Yeah, it just downpoured not too long ago, so it's a little muddy out there, and the grass has really turned to mud. So I might have to grab a change of clothes, but maybe I do that on Monday on the off day tomorrow. We'll have to see.
All right, Morey Herhsgordon, thanks so much. Great stuff as always, and we'll have much more from the Sunday Night Sports Wrap coming up right after this.